Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I see that we have quite an audience and people are pouring in. But because it's already 4 o'clock and we're always on time, I'd like to begin the webinar today. It's a very special webinar today after a really long time, after a huge break from financial advice. We have now moved on to health and wellness. So today's webinar is specifically, regarding your health and how you can strategize on maintaining your health. We just had the festive season that went by us. So I thought it was a great opportunity for you to kind of, and you have the new year coming in with all your resolutions, everything. I think this is the right time to do this webinar at this point of time. Without any further ado, I want to introduce the team that's helping us today. Is the Healthify Me team. We have Kapil and Priyanka. Kapil, would you like to introduce Priyanka?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Kapil. I work as an account manager at Healthify, and we have Priyanka, our coach. So basically, our coach Priyanka Gupta believes that all our dreams is about a fit body, and it can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. As a master coach, she intends to inculcate these qualities in her clients' lives and help them towards their fitness goal. As Priyanka wisely puts it, if you want something you have never had, you must be willing to do something you have never done. So over to you, Priyanka. Let's start the session.
Thank you, Shruti and Kapil, for the lovely introduction, and welcome all of you. A very good afternoon. Hope you all had a great lunch and are all braced up for the session for the next few minutes. I'll be walking you through the things that I just highlighted by Shruti. Why is the weight important? What are the strategies? So that you are, by the end of the session, all prepared up, like we said, for the new year and starting it with the bang. Kapil, can you just help me with sharing the screen?
Sure. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Great. So the topic for today is weight management strategies, and I want to keep this interaction a little, two-way, not a unidirectional one. So all of you can, whenever there is some questions, some inputs, I would love for you all to chime in the chat box, and Kapil can help me to find the answers there. So we'll be starting the session with a short introduction video, and then we'll take it ahead from there. Next slide, please.
I told myself every day that I would start working out and eating healthier tomorrow. And when tomorrow arrived, I put it off to the next day, and the next, and the next. Tomorrow didn't come around for me until some of my clothes didn't fit. My body was lethargic, my skin didn't glow, I had no energy, I regretted what I ate, and I didn't feel beautiful. I was tired of starting over, so I thought I should stop giving up. It was really hard the first few days, and I didn't want to continue. I wanted to revert back to my old self because it was where I was comfortable. But I realized that if you don't step out of your comfort zone, you won't grow. And growing is so important because it pushes you forward. You discover new things about your body that you didn't know you were capable of, and you thrive. As I strive for perfection, I realized that it's not about precision, it's about determination. And when you bring that determination every single day of your life, that's when transformation happens. And when you feel like giving up on that run, stretch, or workout, don't stop, push harder, keep going. And I did just that and was glowing with exuberance. Nothing could stop me because I believed I could do anything I set my mind to. My obstacles only strengthened me and fueled me to stop making excuses, get stronger, aim higher, eat cleaner, train harder, and stay inspired. Day by day, I became happier and lived healthier. Today is your tomorrow. Take control of your mind and body. The power is in the choices you make each day, and everything in your life reflects upon that. So if you want to change your body and mind for the better, make healthier choices, Push past your limits and seize every moment.
Great. So this video tells us a simple message that tomorrow is not there. Now is the time. So now, who all would want to lose weight, or maybe who all would want to gain weight? Any one of you can start answering in the chat box, and Kapil, please help me there.
Sure, Priyanka. We have
So many of you.
to lose weight.
Yes. I am so happy that you all are aware that yes, you need to lose weight. And now we'll be understanding what are the strategies, what are the key factors that are going to help you achieve the goal. So, coming back to the slide. Next slide, please. Let's understand from the very basics. What is body weight and how the body is and what all the body is comprised of. So basically, the body is composed of three factors. That is the muscle mass, also known as the lean body mass, which comprises of 60 to 90%. Further, the body is made up of the fat mass, that is 18 to 31%. And lastly, the water weight is also there, which is limiting up to 75%. Obviously, based upon the gender, ethnicity, age, and the physiological factors like pregnancy, lactation, or any of the hormonal condition, these percentages can vary. Since our body as an Indian people is all special, we have a separate cutoff for the BMI. Now, what is BMI? BMI is the body mass index, and it only takes into account two factors, your height and your body weight. Based upon the simple formula of your weight upon height in meter square, it gives you the ranges, that is between normal 18.5 to 22.9, overweight, that is 23 to 24.9, and obesity more than 20 BMI, that how you are going to manage your ranges in terms of normal, overweight, and obesity. But how do we arrive at this formula? It is based upon your overall, like I said, weight and height. For the ideal body weight, how would you know that what should I be having the body weight as per my height? So there are simple formulas. This is called the Broca's index. So for a male person, just check your height in centimeters. So if a male is 165 centimeter, just subtract 100, and 65 is your IBW, that is ideal body weight. Same way for a female, the height in centimeter subtracted by 105 will give you the ideal body weight. And if you are for example 65 ideal body weight and you are right now at 80 kg body weight, obviously you need to lose the body weight, but it is not that easy. The BMI is not a gold standard measure. For example, we have seen the bodybuilders, they are having a high BMI, but their muscle percentages are high, their fat percentages are very low, but still they are considered to be very healthy. So BMI is just a rough yardstick that can help you to get a particular idea, most approximate idea of what your body weight should be looking like. But internally, your fat and muscle percentages, your water percentages, your nutritional deficiencies are going to give you the right idea how body is well fed internally. Next slide, please. So definitely the formula is there. How many of you have tried to calculate your body weight or your ideal body weight as per your height? Anyone of you tried this? It's a simple formula. If you're having a rough idea of your height in centimeter or maybe in inches. Yes. Don't worry, don't get disheartened that your ideal body weight is not there. Definitely, we'll be trying some tricks and tricks in a healthy manner in this session so that you are on your own. Next slide, please. So here we will understand the concept of energy balance. So we all have heard ki, okay, we need to lose the body weight, but we have to follow the formula of calorie deficitness. So from the Newton's law, we all know that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can only be channelized from one form to the other. And here in the body, we have two forms of energies in terms of calories. So calorie intake in terms of the food and calorie output in terms of the physical activity. So if we need to maintain the body weight, which definitely can be there, we need to keep a balance, a pivot for calorie intake and calorie output. But when we need to gain the body weight and in a healthy manner, we need to keep the calorie in a little higher than the calorie output. But it doesn't mean that the physical activity would not be required. Why physical activity and how much every single day, I'll be taking up in my subsequent slides. Now comes the $1,000,000 question of the calorie deficitness. So calorie intake, the previous slide, please. The calorie intake should be lower than the calorie output. So it is not that you are eating bare minimum and you're increasing your physical activity exponentially and you're going to achieve the result. No. So right now, like you're sitting and talking or maybe using your phone or walking, plus the workout, plus the footsteps throughout the day, total is the calorie burnout. And in comparison to that, whatever food that you are eating, for a female, it is almost 1200 calories, even if a female is sitting at one place. For a male, the calories are bare minimum 1500 in the whole day. So if your calorie output is more through all the activities combined and body is getting the bare minimum 1200 for a female, 1500 for a male, that is where you will enter the calorie deficitness principle. And without the nutritional deficiency, you will be able to achieve the results over a period of time. Next slide shows us what goes behind the weight gain and what are the complications. So first things are the causes. So the causes comprises of two factors. One is the modifiable characteristics, another is the non-modifiable characteristics. Like the name suggests, non-modifiable characteristics, we are gifted with our genes, we are gifted with the ethnicity, we have a particular sex, female or male or the transgenders. So these cannot be changed. Whatever we are gifted with, we have to manage and cater to that. Secondly is the modifiable characteristics, that is the lifestyle factors, maybe the physical activity, the sleep, maybe the drugs that you are taking over the counter, antibiotics here and there, which are causing the obesity to increase over a period of time, apart from dietary changes. And obviously we are exposed to evolution, so urbanization and the easy access to all the technologies have made our life very, very sedentary. All these are modifiable, non-modifiable characteristics are leading to what is called the lifestyle disorders. And lifestyle disorder, it doesn't mean if you're having, say, diabetes or a thyroid or a PCOS, you do not have any medical condition. This is the lifestyle disorder because of the lifestyle deviations that you have been providing to the system. And once you take the right charge of your lifestyle habits, certainly all the diabetes, pre-diabetes, PCOS, thyroid, hypertension, cholesterol derangement, fatty liver, all will be taken care of. Also, the non-communicable diseases, just as cancer, can be taken care of at the right stage. For example, we all have the cancer genes in us. But why some people experience cancer excessive genes or other people do not experience? Because the X group of people who are experiencing any form of cancer, they are activating their genes with the lifestyle, with the stress, with maybe the drugs or maybe other obesogenic things in their lifestyle. And so they are experiencing the cancer situations. Lastly, for the management, it is again not just easy for the diet and the workout. Yes, it is 70% diet, 30% workout, but both go hand in hand. Apart from the other lifestyle management, which is the hydration, the sleep, the stress, among others, as I'll be taking in the next sessions, in the next slides. Then the question comes to our mind is it really that easy? Is it possible to lose the body weight and keep it off? Even if I have lost the body weight, how long will I able to maintain the body weight? And how is it going to work for me? Obviously, I have gained a lot of weight over a period of time, but I want to lose it as early as possible. Or maybe I have got pre-diabetes of diabetes. I want to get into the diabetes reversal or the remission. So how many of you have experienced these kind of thoughts? Anyone? Losing weight and then maintaining it, or just there's a wedding or any event in your life and then you're thinking to lose weight in the next 2-3 months. I can see some answers pouring in. Oh, Yashra says he has the same questions. We have people with diabetes and pre-diabetes as well. Great. So we have quite right answers that you all are all braced up that yes, you are looking forward to that. Next slide in subsequent slides will be helping us to know the key pillars for weight management strategies. So with this background, we'll be definitely digging deep into all these pillars. Number one, to be realistic. Nothing can be achieved overnight. It is the persistence, it is the consistency that is going to give you the reliable and the long lasting, as they call, sustainable results. Second is the wholesomeness of your diet. It is not just 2-3 things you're eating here and there and then you are reminiscing that I am not achieving my goal and target. Very, very important, very underrated, physical activity. You have to get out of the bed, you have to set your discipline. Then is your sleep cycle. Good night's sleep is very important. Even if you're sleeping in the day, the body knows the difference. Followed by the hydration, and certainly what can be monitored certainly can be managed. So being realistic, the next slide please. Being realistic is certainly the stepping stone towards our success. Let's understand this with an example in the next slide. Here we have two case scenarios. The one case on the left hand side is a kind of a person, a female having a yo-yo dieting. She is having an unrealistic expectation. And on the right hand side, we have a lasting result, a sustainable approach, which is a bit of a realistic expectation. Let's learn the difference. So the person on the left hand side, she needs to lose weight 20 kgs in definitely maybe 1 week or 1 month. She also wants to reverse the diabetes, as many of you just answered in the chat box. And she also needs to go off the medication. And she needs to do it as soon as possible. And that is why she is overly looking into her weighing scale. She is very, very restrictive, very strict with her diet. She is having a little bit of expectations that, okay, my number should be well maintained. I should be hitting this particular figure week by week, day by day. And I'm very happy to achieve the results now that I'm getting in my hand. While the person on the right hand side, she has to lose 20 kgs of the body weight over a period of time. She needs to first monitor her glucose levels if they are getting within the range. And first, she is thinking to step by step slow down the dosage of the medication, the salt content, or maybe the form of the diabetes medication. So, this is called the lasting approach. Why? Because she is also focusing on developing her habits. She is flexible with her results, even if she is gaining, say, 50 grams the next day. She is not panicking. She is trying to figure out the reason why I have gained the body weight. And even if I have, that is okay. Not every single day is the same. She is looking at the bigger picture that, okay, I have gained the body weight over a period of time. I am going to shred it again over a period of time. And I need to celebrate my victory every single day. And overall, I need to enjoy the process. We all humans are made up of the small, small moments in our life. So it is not that we will be not enjoying the outing with the friends because after 6 months we have a marriage to attend and we need to lose 20 kgs. It is that, yes, I need to achieve that goal, but that goal is not important more than my mental health. That is also very crucial. So the next thing would be the wholesomeness of the diet. So wholesomeness of the diet, meaning how well you are incorporating the small tips and tricks every single day. So the first thing that comes to our mind is the next slide, please, meal frequency. So we all think that, okay, if I'm eating, I don't have time. I'm eating the morning meal or maybe directly starting with the lunch. I'm following 12 hours of the night fasting. I have heard so much of the intermittent fasting. Or I don't feel hungry. Why should I eat? I will eat when I feel the hunger pangs. So This is a little short-sighted approach, I would say. First things first, our body needs small and frequent meal pattern. This is the thumb rule of any journey apart from intermittent fasting. Yes, intermittent fasting has its own pros and cons, and with the guidance of the expert nutritionist, you can undertake it while you are following the rules and regulations. If you have just abruptly started with intermittent fasting, yes, you will get the results in the initial days because your body is undergoing the abrupt change in the routine. But after a point of time, yes, you will be having the hunger pangs. Yes, you will be having the nutritional deficiency. And here exactly your intermittent fasting starts backfiring, and you think, okay, this particular diet is also not working for me. So the answer lies in your habits. Speaking of the frequency of the, no, the last slide only. Speaking of the meal frequency only, here what happens is if you are eating every 2.5 to 3 hours, then your body is constantly churning, constantly making the chemical reactions. There are heat generated at a cellular level, and these heat, the natural heat, are taking care of reducing the fat cell size first, and then the number of fat cells over a period of time internally in your body. Researchers has shown, especially for the breakfast, which is mostly skipped in today's time, or maybe not paid that much of a heed in the rush and everything. So the breakfast, if you are taking within 1 to 1.5 hours of waking up, it is known to take care of your energy levels, your irritability, or the annoying factor that you might be experiencing at the beginning or maybe the first half of the day. It is also going to take care of the post meal sugar spikes or drops based upon case to case. Obviously, it is also going to take care of the insulin hormone that is released by your pancreas, which is a vital organ to maintain your blood glucose levels. And also, it is going to take care of any of the gastric discomfort. It is also very, very easy to have maybe acid reflux or bloating or heaviness. These all are the side effects if you're having a larger meal gap. And also, research has shown that if you're taking the first meal in the right quality, in the right combination, and within the right time frame, once you have woken up, then it will also save you up from consuming the heavy calories later in the day, that is in your lunch. Sometimes you might feel that, okay, I have eaten the lunch, but I'm not having the satiety, I'm not having the fulfillness. So because your body is trying to overcompensate for the larger gap that your body has experienced from the night, because last 7 8 hours you were sleeping, and then in the early morning you have woken up, you are ready and going through all your regular chores in the whole day at a personal, at a professional level, but you're not giving the right fuel to your system. So this is exactly the power of the breakfast, and the first meal, the king, the star meal of the day, should be decided. Next is how you will make sure of the right portion sizes. We cannot measure the food every single time. So we can take a cue from these pictures as attached for the rough idea of the nutrients, namely like the proteins, the fats, the fibers, and the carbohydrates also. So if you're having one palm sized protein in every single meal, especially in your major meals, that is your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that gives you around 7 to 10 grams of the protein. As a Indian population, we are deficient, severely deficient on the protein intake. Ours is a carbohydrate rich diet, and protein are the building block of the body. I'll be talking more so about the protein again in my subsequent slide. Then is your vegetable content, whether in the cooked form or in the raw form, one fistful. Again, especially in your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Carbohydrates comprising of all your sides like roti, rice, dalia, poha, idli, dosa. It should be 1 cup size. So if you're in a party, you can have the idea from this. Otherwise, we have the habit of uh, just combining our plate more so with the rice, or maybe if we are too hungry, we will take half the katori of dal, but we will be overcompensating with the rice or the roti. So this is where we are making a blunder. then the fats are nothing to be afraid of. These are the good fats that your body requires, in terms of, yes, the ghee, in terms of, yes, the oil content, yes, the butter, white butter in your routine. And finally, you also have to take care of the teaspoon and the tablespoon concept. So your little finger almost is a teaspoon, or your index finger, the first section of your index finger is a teaspoon, and your thumb is your tablespoon. So this much of the healthy fat coming from the nuts and seeds are very necessary throughout the day. So here are also, I have attached some of the pointers that you need to take care in your mind. Do not skip any of the meal. It is very, very important, the small and frequent meal pattern. So almost you should be having 5-6 meals in the whole day. And yes, it is not about eating more or eating less. You have to eat right. So the breakfast, lunch, and dinner are sorted. Something between your breakfast and lunch as mid morning, something between your lunch and dinner, that is the evening snack, and something a little to go at the bedtime to keep off the night's glucose as well as the hormonal balance. Further, you have to try to avoid eating from any of the packaged product directly. First, we do not need the packaged product. We are abundantly blessed with all the natural resources which are loaded with the antioxidants, vitamins, and the minerals. Even if you are, then try to take out your portion size from that packet and eat it very, very slowly. Further, when you are in a party or on a vacation or like the festivals, you have to stop eating when you are 80% full. When you think that, okay, I'll have one more roti and after that I'll be done, don't take that roti. You can compensate with other sources like the vegetables or the proteins, because carbohydrates are directly converted into the glucose. Now, this glucose, if it is in excess in your body, is going to directly convert into the sugars and so the fat if you're not burning the calories. So that is where you have to take care of the portion sizes as well. Next slide, please. So here you can make a difference for a healthy choice. So maybe when you are out, both the meals you will be seeing, and you will be tempted definitely with the left hand side option, that is chocolate glazed donut, and I'm having the sweet craving, I'm out, I'm allowed to have it. But also on the right hand side, you have so many options at home or outside. It is also giving you the same calories. So can any one of you just write down in the chat box why you would be choosing the option number A, and who all would be choosing the option number B, and why exactly? We can just settle our cravings. We can enjoy the small, small moments with the donut. Why to go a little extra and every time think of the healthy options? Yes, the cost can be a factor, definitely. Yes, we think that healthy is going to cost us a bomb. And someone wrote that uh, we don't like eating healthy, right? Yes, we also think that healthy is not always tasty. Availability, yes, can be an issue. Stomach filling, Sangeeta, this goes to you. The right answer is stomach filling. So the options on the right hand side, that is the option number B, these are loaded. Yes, it can cost you a little more, but what is more important than your health? Why are we all working today? Why are we all working today? To make our lives better. Otherwise, this money is going to be invested in our medical expenses. The picture on the right hand side with all the colored yellow, red, green, blue options are loaded with micronutrients. The carrots are going to give you vitamin A. The blueberries are great for an antioxidant content. The tomatoes are loaded with, again, vitamin A and a lycopene content, which is anti-inflammatory. There is guava, which is the rich source of vitamin C, much abundant and much more than lemon, which is lesser known. Again, strawberries are loaded with antioxidants. And here is your okra, which is again a great, great source for your potassium. So yes, it can sometimes, based upon the accessibility can cause a little haywire, but nothing more important than your health. And these nutrients are going to give you the satiety, the fulfillment for a longer period of time as compared to the option number A, because it is only loaded with empty calories. Empty calories in the sense, yes, it will give you the feel good factor, but it is going to spike your calorie content without any of the uh, nutrition substitution. And so after maybe 1 hour or 2 hours, you again will feel hungry, or you might again feel cranky. So this is the power of nutrition. Great, Sangeeta. Next slide, please. So here we need to have an idea how an ideal breakfast, lunch, or dinner plate should be looking like. So this is a visual representation how you can put the items in your plate, and how you have to take care of all the food groups throughout the day. So number one is you have to take care of the fruits and vegetable content, because these are so colorful and every single color identified as loadness of all the nutrients that is there. For example, the red color, the lycopene content, and likewise the green color, the white colored, all the fruit content, all the vegetable content are having their own powers. So for the three meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you need to have a vegetable source. You divide your plate into four parts, or maybe three parts. So when you divide your plate into three parts, then almost two-thirds of the plate should be covered with all the colored vegetables in your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then there should be two servings of your fruits. One serving can be as a pre-workout, which you should be doing, the any form of yoga or maybe any of the high intensity workouts or the gym based workouts, and one fruit can be dedicated as an mid evening or mid morning snack options, so that it is easy and handy for you. So when two-thirds of the plate is covered from the vegetable content, then one-third of the plate should be dedicated to a protein source. Protein is the building block of the body, and then your another one-third portion should be taken care of by the carbohydrates. Now these carbohydrates should be complex carbohydrates, not the simple carbohydrates like white rice or maybe the refined wheat flour, that is the maida. You can have like the brown bread or the multigrain bread, or the millets are the great boon to us. And they are coming in the forefront after a long while. So all your ragi, jawar, bajra, the whole wheat roti, the oats based options in your breakfast, or like in the chilla or in the roti form, make your plate very colorful, and try to reduce and try to choose the carbohydrates as the last option. If you think that you need four roti, take only say three roti, and add a little bit of extra dal, or a little bit of extra of the curd or the vegetables. This is how you are going to replace the option. You do not have to omit anything. You have to replace and make the right substitution with the right choices. So for example, instead of like plain roti, if you don't like vegetable, you can make the stuffed roti. You can make the colorful roti like pumpkin roti, the beetroot roti. You can make the palak roti. All these micronutrients are going to give you the right catalyst in completion of the chemical reaction, and that is how the immunity is also built over a period of time. During the COVID period, we have understood that the immunity cannot be built just as a overnight thing. It has to be consistent, and it has to be regular in our routine. Coming to the next slide is how you can incorporate the fruits and vegetables in your routine in a little fancy or maybe easier form, because sometimes, yes, we can find it a little monotonous to add in only the form of vegetable, only in the form of the salads. So what you can make, say for example, in the evening, you can add a little bit of hung curd with slices of carrot, cucumber, beetroot, and use it as a dip to have your cravings settle for something crunchy, something munchy, something salty in the evening. You can add your fruits to your water to make it a kind of a detox water, which is going to give the alkalinity to your body, which is going to remove the toxins at a much faster and higher pace. You can also make your curds and yogurts and the buttermilk a little more colorful and rich in antioxidants. Curd, yogurt, buttermilk, these are probiotics. which are going to support your immunity. And not just that, the gut, which is called the second brain in today's time, is getting the right kind of the hormonal trigger. And so your brain is directly getting the influence for better concentration, the better hormonal impact, and better quality of life also. You can add a little bit of the fruits and vegetables and use it as a dressing over your rotis, or make roti pizzas. You can have the pre-workout like banana. You can add the desserts over that, like maybe you can make the apple sauces, the strawberry sauces, or like peanut butter, almond butter, the fixed butter at your home. And trust me, pre-planning will be the key factor here. If right now you're sitting on the table, you're thinking to eat fancy or eat wholesome, yes, it is going to take a toll on you. You might be a little confused with the options or maybe the calories and everything. But trust me, just like you plan your holidays, you plan your festivals, you plan your commute, that okay, I'll be going X particular destination for X days. This is the planning that you do. Same way you have to do the planning internally for your body, and that is coming to you organically over a period of time. Next slide shows us what are the exact sources of protein, which is the key ingredient in every person's routine. So protein, like I said, is the building block. It is not just used for improving your immunity, but it also take care of all your skin issues, your hair fall, the energy, the low energy that you feel maybe by the end of the day or maybe by the evening, or maybe the brittle of the nails that you experience here and there. So basically, you give me any situation, the protein is going to help you. Furthermore, post 30, post 40, post 50, when the body is shutting down every 5 years with the higher pace, the protein is coming handy to you to keep off the aging factor. It is a key role that the protein is anti-aging also. And just to give you a rough idea, almost zero point 0.6 to zero point 0.8 grams per kg of your body weight is the calculation of the protein. So for example, you are having a 45 kg of your body weight. Then if you're having the bare minimum physical activity, you multiply your body weight, that is 45 into zero point 0.6. And if you're having the respectable activity, that is like walking 5,000, 10,000 in the whole day, then you can calculate 45 multiplied by zero point 0.8. And likewise, as you increase the intensity throughout the day, your calculation for a male or for a female body increases. Yes, it can also be clubbed with all kind of medical factors also, or maybe the medications that you are taking. Now, what are the sources of protein? For a vegetarian, there are all the sources like sprouts and pulses, the nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, pecan nuts, peanuts, and also the soya chops, soya chunks. These are all the protein sources. While for a non-vegetarian, there are sources of animal ones, for example, the egg, chicken, fish, all the poultry sources, the red meat, which should be taken with the right kind of the quantity and the frequency. And the major thing that you can incorporate without thinking every single day throughout the year, and I am advertising it fully and confidently, is the curd, buttermilk, or the yogurt. Trust me, just one glass or two glass of the buttermilk, or half a katori or one katori of curd throughout the year, whatever season it is going to give you a boost of health like nothing else. And also we vegetarian have a little concern for the absorption of the protein. So some ingredients like pulses, they are not the wholesome sources of the protein, and hence we need to combine some sources of the protein for a vegetarian with some other ingredients, so that the wholesomeness of the protein is taken care of, and so our body is able to accept the X source of the protein. The next ingredient would be for the fat. Before that, I want to ask some of you, okay, yeah, before that fat, there is a nutrient called the carbohydrate. So there are four macronutrients: PFCF, proteins, fats, fibers, and carbohydrates. We talked about the fibers, that is coming from the fruits and the vegetables. We talked about the protein. Now is the third pillar, which is the carbohydrate source. So the carbohydrates, it is not that we can just skip all of our carbohydrates, or we can definitely go without the carbohydrates in a single meal. It is the right distribution. Without the right kind of the carbohydrate, your proteins, your antioxidants are definitely not going to get absorbed in the system. So like I said, it should be the combination, and you can make the carbohydrates a little more wholesome for you in terms of the multigrain flour or maybe the multigrain chapatis. So all the different millets or the different grains that we get in our market in a specific ratio as per your goal, as per your target, or maybe just discussing with your nutritionist, you can make your own multigrain roti. Do not go after the fancy brand, because obviously the variety of the grains, the quantity of the grains, these are definitely questionable. Also, you can incorporate the carbohydrates in terms of the vegetables khichdi, or maybe the quinoa, or maybe the quick options like the chilas, overnight oats, or instead of choosing the easiest breakfast cereals, or maybe the bagels, or maybe the breads early in the morning, which are going to spike your glucose levels like anything. Then is the last pillar of the macronutrient, which is called the fat. So we all are dreaded with the fat. I have got the deranged cholesterol level. I should be avoiding the fat in my food. Next slide, please. I should be avoiding the fat in my food. The fat is fattening, but there is a catch here. So any one of you who would let me know what are exactly the sources? Are only the oils and ghees and butter the sources of the oils, or the milk contents, the legumes, the lentils are also the sources, or both A and B? All food contain the fat content. Any one of you have any idea? So I see the mixed option. Some says D, some says both A and B. I'm loving the audience. They're so active. So the right answer here is the option number D. All food sources, all of them, contain all these four pillars: PFCF, proteins, fats, carbohydrates, and fibers. The difference lies in how much for per 100 gram that X ingredient is giving you the proteins or the fats or the fiber or the carbohydrates. So a dal, yes, is going to give you the fat, but it is predominantly loaded with the protein. It is also loaded with carbohydrates. It is also loaded with the fiber. Same way, the milk is the great source of protein and the calcium, but all of us know that paneer or maybe the curd or maybe the milk itself is going to give you the fat content. So the right answer is option number D. Every single ingredient is going to give you the right contribution of the fat. But next slide, please. The difference lies in the right kind of the fat. So like I said, it is a healthy fat and the unhealthy fat, or maybe as the more friendly term, the good fat and the bad fat. So the bad fat is of two types, that is the TFAs and SFAs, that is trans fatty acids, saturated fatty acids. Anything that is fried over a period of time, if you are reusing your oil, the the chemical bonding of the oil changes, and so it becomes toxic, and hence it becomes saturated fatty acids. And the crispness that you get from your biscuits, from your rusks and your fans and everything, the bakery products basically, it is because of the saturated fatty acids. Trans fatty acids are particularly banned. Saturated fatty acids are still permissible up until 7% per 100 grams of the weight of a product. Then comes the good fat, which is the MUFAs and the PUFAs. If you might have heard of polyunsaturated fatty acids or monounsaturated fatty acids, like oleic acid, pantothenic acid, these kind of things you might have heard, or maybe EHAs, DPAs. So like there are products, the protein powders or maybe the kids powders, they are advertised as loaded with DHAs, EPAs, which are going to boost your brain activities for the child. So these are good fats. And fats are not only going to give you the right insulation to maintain the body temperature, but they are also going to save you from the wear and tear between two cells or maybe two organs. So they are also saving you as an outer layer. the good fat, even if you're having the cholesterol derangement, the good fat is going to take care for lowering the bad fat in your body. And fats are very, very important for the brain activities also. And if you might see if you're too low on the fat, your brain activity also goes down. You might have an early fatigue, or maybe you're not able to focus or concentrate or any of the things, and not able to control your emotions as well. Now, what are the sources of the good fat? So in terms of the natural sources, all the fatty fishes, especially the salmon, are great for the healthy fat content. The nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, peanuts, pecan nuts, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, chia seeds, avocado, these are loaded with omega-3 content. And you can add them over anything and everything. Just like you're grabbing a fruit at a mid morning or as a pre workout, you can just have 2 or 3 almonds here and there. But yes, excess of anything is bad. We have a habit to munch maybe one fistful here and there throughout the day. So even if they are calorie dense, even if they are good fat, but excess is definitely going to backfire. And yes, throughout the day, you can maximum have 2 to 4 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon is 5 grams. So 2 to 4 teaspoon of the fat throughout the day in the form of ghee, in the form of butter. And that is how you will not be able to excess or maybe exceed any of your body weight also. Moving on to the next pillar, which is the physical activity. It is the 30% of the physical activity that we need to take care of. And in order to respect the time, I'll be just pacing up. So the physical activity, if any of you would want me to just go through any of the factors, once again, let me know, I'll do that. So the physical activity, as per WHO, World Health Organization, says that 150 minutes of the physical activity in a whole week should be undertaken. That boils down to almost 30 to 45 minutes of the physical activity for at least 4 to 5 times in the whole week. 4 to 5 times or to 4 to 5 days in a whole week. And that's only 2% of your 24 hours. And I am very, very confident that this much of the physical activity, with the kind of the lifestyle, with the kind of the goal we are focusing upon, we need to make the time for. The physical activity, it is not just running and jogging. It is the right combination of the cardio, which is going to keep your heart health and your blood circulation in good functioning, plus the strength training, so that the fat, which is the stubborn fat settled throughout your body, can dislodge from the place and finally can be taken out of your system through the right pattern and through the right routine. Physical activity not only keeps you with the principle of calorie deficitness, it also elevates your mood because it releases the good hormones by the end of the session. It boosts your stamina and also gives you the tightness of the skin, which is very much important and essential once you are on a weight loss or weight management journey, because that loose skin ultimately also is going to create a little of havoc for you. And physical activity, it should not be like overnight. Today you are completing 2000 and you have heard somewhere 10,000 the step, and tomorrow I'm going to complete 10,000 steps, or I need to lose say 10 kg, so instead of 10,000 I'll complete 50,000. Yes, to do complete it, but you cannot replace the importance and the impact of the strength training. Coming to the next pillar, which is the good sleep. So next slide, please. I would want to know this interesting question. How many of you view or use your phone or any of the electronic devices, the Kindles or maybe the laptops or the television screen right before your bed? Come on, we all are guilty. So it's like we find some me times. I see many of the yes here. So it is like our me time. Throughout the day I was busy here and there, and now I can just focus and relax. Yes, you can relax, but the science says at least 2 hours before our bedtime, we have to avoid using any of the electronic gadgets, especially the phones or the laptops. Why? Because these radiate the blue screen, and that blue light is going to impact your brain functioning. Your brain is not going to relax. And now when you're retiring to your bed, takes at least 45 to 60 minutes for your brain to calm down and release the night hormones. And these night hormones are going to repair your and rejuvenate your body. So this is very, very crucial that you try. I know it is not possible for all of us to keep the phone off for 2 hours before the bedtime, but at least we can try for 30 to 40 minutes. And we can just try to settle our me time throughout the day, maybe during the commute or maybe here and there, however the routine adjusts. So the next slide shows how your proper sleep cycle is going to not only take care of your rejuvenation, but also it is related to your hunger hormones. So there are two hunger hormones when you are having enough sleep. So namely, these ghrelin and leptin are involved. If you are having the good sound sleep with the right timing and with the right night sleep pattern, your ghrelin has to be low, and ghrelin is responsible for the normal regulated appetite, while your leptin hormone should be high, which indicates for the satisfaction after eating the food that yes, I am full, now I can stop eating. But if you are thinking that I'm having 6 hours of the sleep and 2 hours I'm taking in the night and 4 hours I'm taking in the morning, but I am completing 6 hours. So understand, our body is much smarter than us. It is understanding the difference between the daytime and the nighttime. The rejuvenation is not adequate, and so it is going to happen in a reverse mode. The ghrelin is going to be on a higher side, which is giving you the higher indications for your hunger pangs here and there. You're not going to get the satisfaction after eating the food as well. And research shows that if you are depreciated for your sleep quality and that quantity, if say you are having 5 hours of the sleep, every subsequent day you are going to consume around 200 to 250 extra calories, and that is how again you are going to gain the body weight. Sleep has its own phases which are very, very crucial to be taken care of. You in the day you can manage the power nap here, almost 15 to 20 minutes, but nothing more than that, because that is how the next channelization of the sleep cycle and the stages are connected. Next is my favorite topic, which is hydration. How many of you, next slide please, how many of you do consume and make it a point that you have the right amount of the water throughout the day? Or maybe you think that this is the particular number or the quantity of the water I should be having throughout the day. Any one of you has calculated, know anything, or just we are following as per our convenience and not having the thirst pangs? Why should I drink? I'm having coffee, I'm having tea, so that subsides for the requirement of the water. Any one of you think like that? So someone says 5 to 6 liters, someone says 11 glasses, 2 to 3 liters. Yes. 1 cup of coffee, 1 cup of tea. Deepak says around 3 liters. So you can, next slide please, you can make a note of this. I'll give you the formula. So if you want to be just happy in your comfort zone and you want to understand the right quantity of the water, so whatever is your body weight, multiplied by 30 ml. So this is your bare minimum, the respectable quantity of water that you should be having. And trust me, don't wait for the hunger pangs or the thirst pangs. But if you want to go a little extra and respect and honor your body with the adequate amount of water, then whatever is your body weight multiplied by 45 ml. You will get the right quantity of the water that has to be distributed throughout the day. Do not wake up in the morning and drink just like 1.5 liters of water and okay, I have completed like 60-70% of the day's target. That is overhydration, and with that your body and all the nutrients will be over diluted, and you might have issues of BP, or maybe the heart is pressurized as well. So the water is the colorless, priceless, easily available, tasteless, the boon that we all have got. It is most underrated, but trust me, most powerful ingredient. It is my favorite. Why? Because whatever you do in the whole day in terms of medicines or the diet or the stress, sleep cycle, there has to be the proper circulation throughout the body, and that is catered by the water. It not only takes care of removing the toxins through the feces, through the sweats, through the urine, but it also maintains the basal metabolic rate. That is, like there's a speed limit on a highway, same way our body has a speed limit, which is called the basal metabolic rate, the metabolism. And so your body is going to get used to the particular frequency and the way it needs to be performed. If you are bored with the plain and the tasteless flavor of the water, then you can try the infused water or the detox water recipes. So with that, you can just, like, in a liter of water, you can add your favorite fruits, like maybe apple or a watermelon or a kiwi. Let it get infused for 2 to 4 hours. Now start drinking it. So this water has become an infused water. It is great in alkalinity, and the way the water will be channelized throughout your system with the micronutrient, with the antioxidants, which will be much, much better. And yes, do not count all your coffees or caffeine content, teas and sugary drinks and the juices and the water content, especially the fruit juices, punches, squashes. These are a big no-no, because again, these are empty calories. These are loaded, just like you're having a sugar syrup in a glass. You cannot eat four fruits at one go, but you're having the four orange juice. So this is, just imagine the level of the ready available sugar content that is exposed to your system, and that is how your sugar is going to go spike and then a sudden drop. And again, you might be facing the challenges with your weight. Next slide, please. So now we have understood all the 5 pillars: the realisticness or the wholesomeness, the hydration, the sleep, the physical activity. But how are we going to measure it? Because whatever can be measured can definitely be monitored. So how many of you think that it is healthy to monitor your body weight every single day? Like, you're so obsessed, I should be weighing like 50 kgs or losing maybe 100 grams every single week, and so my ideal weight 50 kg I have achieved. So Rushi says every week. Very good, Rushi. And none of you check your body weight? I'm so happy to see the honesty of Patnija here, that she is obsessed to check, but she knows, she has the realization that it's not healthy. So yes, the body weight. Next slide, please. The body weight is very, very important to keep in check for your progress, but it should not be done that frequently. Regular monitoring, like once every week or once every 10 days, will give you better idea. And you can use the Healthify Me application in order to not just monitor your week by week progress, but ultimate, you can set your goals. You can also see how what could be the pace, what could be the trajectory, and what could be the week by week progress that you need to be making. And it is very unique to every person. Not just that, you also have to monitor for what could be the regularity for your physical activity, how much you are burning, and through what all the physical activity. Not just that, furthermore, your inches are going to also speak for volumes in terms of the fat loss. If your size is shrinking, apart from your weight, apart from the nutritional deficiencies that are taken care of, this is a remarkable progress in terms of direct fat loss in your system. And if keeping in mind with our busy schedules, we can set the target for the hydration like 12 glasses as per the formula that I shared with you. And you can just monitor what could be the water weight goals. If your physical activity, the intensity is higher, trust me, yes, you need to get a little extra with your hydration target also. But it is only possible to check your body weight in the morning. If you are checking it after every meal, obviously the food is having its own weight. Obviously your weight is going to go up. Obviously there is a release of the gastric juices and enzymes that are going to act upon the food and get it digested in your system. So do not get obsessed with the weight. Just have a rough idea at the back of your mind that yes, I need to keep a hold of it. That's the only thing. And the last thing that I want you all to focus is the 3 R's, that is reflect, replace, and reinforce. Reflect on your habits, both good and bad ones, and what could be the common triggers for you for how easily you give up and how easily you are going back to the track. So if you have the pointers with you, you have the better self-realization. If you have the pointers with you, you know the rationale behind it, and you will be able to substitute or replace the right habits at the right time instead of the wrong ones. And then you can keep the people around you some motivational quotes in your phones, or maybe uh, in your boards or here and there, so that you are reinforcing the idea that yes, it is nothing more important than you and your whole body. And it is a longer perspective, not just for the next 6 months, for the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 50 years down the line, that you have to take care of your system. So with this, we will be now proceeding towards the question and answers. And Kapil, can you please help me with that?
Sure. Thank you so much, Priyanka, for hosting today's session. The insights shared about weight management were truly valuable. I'm sure everyone found it very helpful. As now we open the floor for Q&A sessions, please feel free to drop your questions and we will address them one by one. Meanwhile, Priyanka, I have some questions that I did note down from few people. That is it is it okay to have two meals in a day? Suresh asks.
Yeah. So, like I said, 2 meals in the whole day. If you're following a particular pattern of eating, if you are having a medical condition, you have to check with the doctor. But if you're asking me in an ideal situation, that I wouldn't promote 2 meals in the whole day, because, like, if it is a male body, 1500 has to be the basic necessity. If you are dividing in 2 meals, then you are having a huge quantity and a huge calorie at one go, and likewise they're going to a glucose rush as soon as you finish your meal, and this is going to give you a blue after the meal, and your energy levels will go down, and obviously your body is not making and maintaining your metabolic rate, and that can contribute for the weight gain. Even if you are eating lesser quantity for 2 meals in the whole day, still, whether it is two low meals or two high meals, the body is not going to give you the right results in the right manner. So, like I said, just break down your food, just pre-plan it, and trust me, it is 21 days you give yourself, you will be making yourself very, very proud. I hope that answers.
Thank you, Priyanka. Also, Priyanka, can you once again please repeat the water formula and the formula to calculate BMI, as people did have some queries around it?
Sure. So, in terms of the BMI, that is body mass index, check your body weight in kilograms, and then your height in meters. So, if your height, it in meters, meter square, for example, if it is 1.75 meters, so then 1.75 into 1.75, so that becomes meter square. So now you put your weight in kg and your height in meter square. This gives you the BMI. So this is how you calculate your BMI, and then you can see whether you lie in the normal, overweight, or obese category for the normal BMI for the Asian population. Then coming to the water formula, for if you want to be an adequate value for the water intake throughout the day, so check your body weight multiplied by 30 ml. If you want to be abundant and optimal for the water intake, then you multiply your present body weight into 45 ml.
Okay. So SK asks, can you suggest, Priyanka, some best diet for low carbohydrates?
Yes, for the low carbohydrates, again, how low? We cannot go lower than 150 grams in the whole day, because our brain activity can get impacted here and there. So, for the low carb diet, you can follow the options in terms of the millets, the pseudo millets as it is called, the quinoa, the amaranth. But you have to see how you are distributing the low carb food throughout the day and combining it with the protein sources, so that the glycemic index combined with the glycemic load of the food is well taken care of. Some options could be the oats based options, some options could be the sauteed vegetables with the paneer, or maybe the quinoa salads, or amaranth chila, amaranth idlis. So these can be the options for you.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. Let's take this last question from Hemant. That he asked, when should I drink water before sleeping? Is there a specific time to drink water?
So only thing with the water you have to take care that 30 minutes prior and post the meal, especially your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you have to avoid drinking the water. And this is because if you just right now drinking the water and then having the food, obviously the larger space is occupied with the water, you will not be able to have the right quantity of the food, so early satiety would be there. Secondly, if you're immediately drinking your water post finishing your meal, then you are giving the dilution, so the adequate temperature and the pH in the stomach is not maintained, so to carry out the chemical reaction. So only this thing you have to take care. Otherwise, you can fix a formula like every hour I'll have 1 glass of water. But make sure whenever you are drinking water, please sit down first. Otherwise, if you're standing and drinking the water, it is directly going to the kidney. Then you will have a issue of frequent urination, because the water is directly as it is getting in, it is getting out. There is no utilization. So sit down and take the water sip by sip, slowly, gradually make a sip, make a swirl in your mouth, swallow it down by sitting down, and that is how you can distribute the water. Hope that answers.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. And I hope we have answered most of your common questions that you do have during the session. And thank you so much for being a wonderful, asking such a wonderful questions and being an active participation. And also special thank to Priyanka, special thank to Shruti for giving us this opportunity to host today's session. And just to answer a few more questions, I do say ki yes, we will be sharing the PPT. You can ask the host to give it to you. And everything about the PPT and the presentation, it will be shared with you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you, for this really great session. Thank you, Kapil, for helping her out with, the questions, the PPT. I'm really hopeful that you had a great session, everybody. Please do join us for next month's session as well. We will announce the topic very soon, early next month. With that, I'd like to end this month's webinar. Thank you so much, Priyanka. Thank you so much, Kapil, again. Thank you to the Healthify team, Healthify Me team, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Shruti. Bye bye.
Bye.